Hi, Group 2. This is Katie here to give you some feedback on your blended learning workshop. Your team did a great job. I can tell a lot of time and effort went into it, as well as collaboration. Everything was very cohesive and formatted in similar ways, so I liked how it all flowed very nicely. I thought it was a good idea for you to bullet the objectives at the top, as well as give the background on the blended learning rationale. And I thought that your whole workshop was designed to really emphasize what blended learning is and what a flipped classroom is, and you modeled what that looked like within your activities. I liked in activity 1 that you showed some different options for choice. Don't want this ad though. I'm only really familiar with Google Classroom, so I thought it was helpful to see more about Canvas and Haiku. And I really liked how you organized it with benefits and disadvantages so that the participants could see, the positive and negatives of each one. In activity 2, I thought it was a good idea to explain what intelligent adaptive learning is. I know we hear a lot of buzzwords all the time and it's hard to keep track of what they all are, so I thought that this was a good idea to focus on. And it reminded me that I have had ScoopPad on my iPad, but I kind of forgot about it, so thank you for that reminder. And this video was a nice, clear and concise overview to ScoopPad. And I liked that the staff are going to be able to participate in a free online tutorial to get them set up as a starting point. I think that using that as, I think it's important that the participants walk away with something that they are going to use in their classroom. And in activity 3, I liked how you broke it up into 2 different tasks, and I especially liked the Google form that you created for the participants to create a flipped lesson. I thought that it was a very scaffolded way to get them started in thinking about the flipped classroom. And I liked how you emphasized to keep it simple. It can be overwhelming to make a bunch of changes, but reminding them to just start somewhere is good. In activity 4, I liked how it was, clearly organized in 3 different columns, and again, that they had some time to create a SumDog profile. I'm interested in looking more into that resource as well. And that brings me to the resources. I also thought the organization of this was really nice, how you have, a column for facilitator scripts so that anyone could really take over teaching your workshop. And I liked how the links to more tools and more information were also included all in one spot so that the person who's viewing the website doesn't have to toggle between everything. So some suggestions, I thought maybe including, I feel like they're kind of the 4 buzzwords of blended learning, that the students can work at their own time, place, path, and pace. That might be something that would be beneficial to include in your rationale. And I think maybe just an overview of what the timeline would look like for these activities, because I noticed that, for instance, this Google Classroom video was about 20 minutes, and I'm sure that it, it's very beneficial for teachers who are not familiar with Google Classroom, but I thought that it might be a little lengthy for them to be exploring at the workshop. I also thought maybe you could create your own screencast modeling just the main points of setting up a Google Classroom and then upload that video, and the participants could watch that and just get kind of a more concise overview on just how to get started, and then maybe go back to this tutorial later at a later time. So I think really just adding some words about blended learning and the time frames were my main suggestions. I know that it can be really difficult to format in Google Sites, so I noticed that some of the things, kind of went on top of each other, but I'm sure that that was really hard to kind of organize everything to not get it to come over each other. So I'm sure that you took some time to look at that. So that would be my feedback, and you guys gave a lot of detailed information, and I liked the way that you organized it, and you did a great job.